ready for the time of your life at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas's newest destination for fun, featuring the world's biggest poolside tailgate party with 3 levels of action, 6 pools, and a 143-foot screen. The fun is always on deck with all the games all year long. Stadium Swim, located in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Book the time of your life today at circalasvegas.com.
Please don't be raining. Perfect.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? A happy Tuesday to you. Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com, coming to you from the Cutwater Studios. More than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Make sure you pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. It's Tuesday. We got Jay Tust here, and I believe, Jay, I would consider us pretty good friends. We're usually on the same page about things, but I think we finally got something we disagree on that we can debate a little bit today. And I think it's going to be an unfair fight because based on the comments, I think most people are probably on my side on this. Doesn't mean I'm right. I just think, Jay, I'm very curious to hear Jay's thoughts and how people respond to it. But we got a lot to discuss. We're going to talk about this new group of 5 top 25 poll that might be coming out, the good or bad of that. And that's what I'm talking about with us maybe disagreeing. We're going to talk a little bit Boise State softball. We got Justin Shults joining us at 9:20 to discuss the Mountain West tournament. A little of this, little of that. Happy Taco Bell Tuesday to Jay Tust. How we doing?
I'm good, bud. I think I'm right, by the way. And John Mallory in our group text last night kind of sided with me, so at least I got him on my side in this argument.
Johnny did what he usually does. He started to side with me. Then when you came in, he changed his mind and sided with you.
All right, so I've already changed one mind.
Maybe you can do it again. Yeah, we'll see. But this is a Taco Bell Tuesday edition of Bronco Nation News Live. Make sure you check them out. TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, they are hiring. And again, free food, half your wages the day after your shift. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. Jay, a lot to discuss. I mentioned it. We'll start there with the this weird group of 5 top 25 poll that is coming out. It sounds like they even have a sponsor for it. It's going to be every head coach in the group of 5 voting on this poll. My first reaction, and again, that's the beautiful thing about opinions. No one's really right or wrong. It's just your opinion versus somebody else's. And my first opinion was, why are they doing this? I understand the number 2 versus number 6 in the group of 5 or whatever. And for the wanting to have the highest ranked group of 5 team for whatever else there is, like, I guess I understand that, but for me, it looks like the divide between Power 4 and Group of 5 is just getting bigger and bigger, and we're closer and closer away from them just saying, heck with this, we'll do our own thing in terms of the Power 4, and anything that the Group of 5 does that is inclusive to just them, in my opinion, is not a good thing, because I feel that only makes the Power 4 teams go, you know what? Oh, if you guys are happy doing your own thing over there, good for you. Great. We'll just go ahead and do our own top 25 too. We won't even include you guys, and we'll do our own playoff and not include you guys. Like, I don't know. I know there's more to it than that, but my first reaction when I saw it was it's unnecessary, and all this does is add another little layer to the divide of the Power 4 and the Group of 5. I don't know why. I think the Group of 5 should be trying to do everything they can to stay part of this. Try not to have this divide. Try to show that you're just as worthy as the Power 4 schools. And to go off and make your own poll just seems childish. Isn't the right word, but it just seems a little like you're okay being kind of second fiddle to the Power 4s. And I don't know. It doesn't sit great with me.
So do you think the AP is going to kick the Group of 5 schools out of the AP Top 25?
I believe this lays the groundwork for the Power 4 saying, let's do our own poll. Yes.
But the AP poll, which is made up of Associated Press, writers or TV people in some cases and things like that. How are they kicking Group of 5 schools out of that poll?
Not initially, no.
Wouldn't it be up to those writers to kick the Group of 5 schools out of that poll?
I guess theoretically, yes. But if the Power 5 says we're doing our own playoff or we're doing our own thing, they may have to adjust the top 25 the way they vote. I don't know.
I just don't think this matters at all. Like I just don't. It's a poll. What does it establish? What does it mean? Nothing. It's just, honestly, I see good in it. And this will just be a way. I see good in it if you're a program like Boise State, because this will just be another reminder that they are a premier Power 5 program. Group of 5 program. They're going to constantly be at the top of that, or near the top of that poll, you would assume. And it just gives them a little more exposure. So I really don't see any bad in this. I see a whole lot of good in it. And I think that I understand the concern, the gap growing, but that gap has more to do with Oregon and USC going to the Big Ten and like actual moves that matter, not a poll that really doesn't mean anything in terms of like the discussion. Like I jokingly said, BJ, in our group text last night, wake me up when the Power 5 or Power 4 kicks the Group of 5 out of access to the college football playoff,
which I think small stuff like this starts to lead in that direction.
I don't think the Group of 5 even cares. A group of whatever it means. Wow, man, I got it. Power 4, no longer Power 5.
Yeah.
I just don't think they care about stuff like this. I don't know why stuff like this would influence anything they do. I think they probably look at it and go, all right, that's cute.
And you're probably right about that part, I guess. And again, I do see both sides of it, but like when Boise State plays Utah State, are they going to have a number 2 next to their name because they're the number 2 Group of 5 team and people are cool with that? Or I don't know.
It's usually the Associated Press, or once the college football playoff comes out with their top 25, it's usually that. It also depends on what network you're on sometimes,
I just feel like the Power 4 is looking to do anything they can to get rid of having the Group of 5 involved with them. They would rather make their own money, share their own money, not have anybody else involved. And when they now have proof that the Group of 5 is like fine doing their own poll and fine doing their own thing, it's just one more thing of ammo for down the road where they can just continue to kind of push themselves and go, okay, you guys are cool doing your top 25. We'll just do our top 25. And why don't we just do separate playoffs too? I don't know. It just anything the Group of 5 does to separate themselves as being their own thing and not as good as the Power 4 worries me, in my opinion.
If we get to a day, which in all honesty is probably inevitable, where the Power 4 separates and does their own thing, on that day, let's go to the press conference and raise our hand and ask about the things that played into this. And if anybody says that on May 6, 2024, the Group of 5 decided to start their own top 25 poll and cite that as one of the main things that made this happen, I will come on your show, BJ, and admit that you are right.
Well, that could be next year or whenever. I mean, who knows?
I just think it is so minute in the grand scheme of things. Plus, you said this poll might have a sponsor. Where's that money going? Because if it's even $1 to Boise State or any of the group of 5 institutions, well, that's $1 they didn't have yesterday. So if there's any good in it in terms of that.
Jay's computer just died, I believe. I heard the sound and then it went away. Jay's computer. We had the Jay, you're on mute. I think Jay's computer dying is the second thing. For whatever reason, he forgets to plug it in sometimes. Let's read some of the comments here while Jay is logging back on. And again, I'm going to read all the comments. We'll take both sides of this. The only reason it'll be worth having a group of 5 ranking list is for determining who's getting into the CFP. That's only realistic if there's more than one group of 5 team allowed. I agree with that. If you want to have a vote for the group of 5 top 25 teams by the Associated Press, whatever, and that first place team or the coaches and that first place team gets in, then great. Have the poll mean something. Like right now, it means nothing. There's no separate playoff. Do you win are you considered the group of 5 national champion if you win the poll, if you get the top 25 poll? I just, I don't understand, that part of it. And I totally agree with you on that, Robbie. Like if it means something in terms of getting you into another, the top 12 or whatever, then sure, I'm all for it. But if it's literally by itself and doesn't, mean anything other than, some weird ranking, I just don't see a reason for it, to be honest. Vlad says, let's see. And this is, by the way, great that Jay was gone for a minute because I could just read all the comments and back up my opinion, and he has no way to respond. But Vlad says, there he is. Vlad says, separate poll for group of 5, terrible idea unless Boise State's in the Power 5. Time for a group of 5 poll was 20 years ago. Now is not the time to bring more attention to any differences between the haves and the have-nots. And then, Jay, you missed this one by Robbie, but he mentioned the only reason he'd be okay is if it actually determines the group of 5 spot in the playoff. And I would be for that. I guess my whole thing is like, what is the point of this top 25 ranking? I mean, is the team that finishes first considered the group of 5 national champion? Like, well, if there was actually some sort of entry into the playoff or a reason for having this, I would be fine. But if it's just to say you're the second ranked group of 5 team, like I just, in my opinion, I don't know if it's necessary. What do you think if there was a way to use this as part of that? Or do you think they'll call the top team? And UCF did it when they went undefeated. I mean, is a team that finishes as number 1 in this poll the group of 5 national champion?
Sure, it's an accolade. Put it in the game notes. Like I again, this is going to be more recognition for Boise State. And I mean, in all honesty, Boise State usually is the group of 5 team that probably gets favorable preseason predictions. I mean, they've never, ever been picked to finish anywhere outside of number 1 in the Mountain West Conference, whether that be the league or division, since they entered the Mountain West. So when this poll comes out, they're going to be one of the teams to beat in the group of 5, and they're going to get that attention. And then when it comes time for the polls later in the season, people can go and look at that and be like, man, Boise State continuing to back up. They're one of the premier programs in the group of 5. Like, I don't see how that attention is a bad thing. I don't. And at the end of the day, the poll right now doesn't mean much at all. It's just another way to bring recognition to the group of 5 and get more teams in the discussion, in my opinion. And if you're Boise State, like I said, usually people give you credit before you've proven anything. I know that might be harsh to hear, but it's true. They win at such an incredible rate that, I mean, I'm BJ, I am sure that you have done this. I will admit that I have done it in preseason polls. When you're looking at a team that you're like, hey, maybe Boise State shouldn't be the preseason favorite in the Mountain West this year, but it's really darn close. And what's the tiebreaker? Well, the tiebreaker is Boise State usually backs it up. And so I don't see how this is a bad thing for them. It's going to be another way for you're telling me that on Monday or whenever this poll comes out that you're not going to be tweeting about, hey, Boise State ranked number 3 in the group of 5 poll. I'll be tweeting it out.
I mean, if there's an actual poll, it's certainly going to have to be news. I guess just my point is, other than, oh, that's cool. Like, I just don't understand what the point of it is. And my bigger,
oh, that's cool. I think it's that simple. I think it's that simple.
My bigger worry is the long-term effects. Like I said, maybe it's stupid to be thinking that, but I'm very. We've heard all these stories and all these things, and Greg Sankey wants no part to do with the Group of Five. The Power Four conferences want to share 100% of the money. They want to do their own playoff. They want to leave the Group of Five out, and anything. And again, this isn't the one thing that's going to be the difference. I get it, but it's another thing you can add to the list of, hey, the Group of Five's fine doing their own poll. Well, what's going to be next? Oh, the Group of Five's fine doing their own tournament. We've heard Derek Dooley pushing this Group of Five, tournament, and so. I guess I'm just against anything that separates the two groups. If there's no Power Five, only poll, why is there a Group of Five only poll? I guess is my opinion. But I think this is what settles it. Vlad says BJ is right. He is right because he's agreeing with Vlad. And as everyone knows, Vlad is always right. So
isn't Vlad usually wrong? Just kidding, Vlad.
Let's see what else we got here. Part of it's based on the assumption we're going to have a separation between those. We're going to pay athletes revenue sharing, those who aren't, but will that be based on choice? I just don't see the need for it. Let the rankings be what they are already. Everyone deserves a chance. No need to be split up. You kind of touched on
the chance. The chance is still there. That's the chance isn't going anywhere. They still have the chance.
You kind of touched on this, but Texas Bronco says, what's the benefit to the Group of Five?
More recognition. Like I said, in any other, like in the poll, now there's going to be 25 different media markets or whatever that are going to be boasting about their Group of Five team that has rankings or that is in the ranking, to where when the AP poll comes out, usually it's like 3 that might be receiving votes of any kind. So it's just another way to give them a little bit exposure, a little bit of buzz. And again, if you are a Boise State fan, this constantly every week you're gonna be tweeting about it. Like, when in the hell is Boise State ever not going to be in the top 25 in the Group of Five? Like, never. Like, even last year, people would have given them the benefit of the doubt. So they're every Monday when this poll comes out, or heck, have it come out on Tuesday. I don't care. You, me, Johnny, I don't know if anybody cares about him. No, I was kidding, Johnny. We're all going to be tweeting about it. Johnny's going to talk about it on his radio show, and then we're going to debate about it. And it's just I
don't know how much we're going to debate it. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
There will be debates. When Coastal Carolina is at 2 and Boise State's at 3, John Mallory is going to debate Michael Forrest Prater, about why that's stupid or why it's correct. Are you kidding me? We find everything, and we've got 20 minutes on this show about it. It's gonna happen. Look at, hey, thank you from Johnny. I'll take that.
All right, we're ending the show now.
This was fun.
No, hold on. I'm leaving it out here. Skyship says I am right here. So yeah, we'll keep a tally of some sort. No, I get your point, Jay, and I'm not saying it's like it's not totally wrong. I just anything that breaks anything at all that divides Power Four and Group of Five. For a Boise State too, like Jay, shouldn't Boise State, like, you want to be in the real top 25? Like, if you're a Utah State or some lower level, like where all you ever have a chance to getting in the top 25 is this Group of Five top 25, like those schools are going to be all over this stuff. But I just don't think for a Boise State, you have all these national aspirations, this national brand. You want to be in the real top 25. You're really going to celebrate being number 3 in the Group of Five top 25? Like, I don't know.
I guarantee that tweet would be sent, and I mean, anything that positions you to say when there's expansion or something that happens that says, oh, now Boise State can say they've never left the top 5 of the Group of Five top 25 for 10 years. Like, they would prove that once again, whenever expansion happens, they can point to that as saying, well, we should be a part of that talk. I don't see how that really hurts them. And again, just to reiterate, just because this poll exists does not mean that Boise State or any other Group of Five team can't be ranked in the AP top 25. Once those decisions are made, that's when I would be more concerned. But until then, this is just a poll that might actually bring a little bit more notoriety.
I'd like to know, it says Trust is 100 times better than listening to Prater. Who's Trust? I don't know who that is, but we're like listening to
Bronco 130. Maybe drop the R and I'll take that, but I don't know if I can trust that too.
People were loving Prater yesterday. He had some, you know how Prater is. We love Prater, man. Prater, He's not afraid to take the alternative side to a lot of the arguments and things. And yeah, well, we'll continue this debate. I need to thank a couple sponsors real quick and get to our special guest. But I I just don't love it, Jay. I don't know. You're Boise State, man. You should be trying to be in the top of the other poll. You don't need to be celebrating that you're the top of the group of 5. I don't know.
They are trying still, BJ. They are trying still.
I just want to know that first game. Is it going to say number 2 next to Boise State if they're not ranked in the top 25? They're going to say they're the number 2 group of 5 team. Like, I don't know. If I'm Spencer Danielson, I want no part of this. Like, I don't know. It seems like you're, I don't know, not belittling, I don't know what the right word is, but just to come down to now that you're fine being in a poll with just your own 20 your schools and you're not, competing against those guys. I don't know. We'll see. I guess my bigger issue, I'll finish it with this, Jay, is like, I am just really, based on the Greg Sankeys of the world and all these conversations, I am just very worried about this eventually breaking off into some sort of Power 4 doing their own thing, group of 5 doing their own playoff, and any kind of ammo, as big or as small, for those guys to be able to do that. I feel like that's not necessary.
Were you worried about that before yesterday?
Yes. Them breaking apart. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was a concern before.
It was. And I think this doesn't help that the group of 5 looks like they're okay doing their own top 25, that they're okay doing their own, and Derek Dooley's pushing their own playoff now. Like, it just seems like it's anything like this that shows that the group of 5 is okay doing their own thing. The Power 5 is going to go, great, do your own thing. We'll do our own thing. But
SEC Media Day is not too far away. Somebody needs to ask Sankey.
You know what? Maybe I'll see if I know somebody down there. Maybe you can get Jordan K to bring that up or something. Let's see if we can do it.
Pissing people off.
Yes, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Make sure you pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for that next round of golf or your next game day tailgate party. Rowpaint.com. Whether it's that concrete slab in your basement, your back patio, your garage, let them transform it in one day. 15-year warranty. We've had it done twice, and I highly recommend it. All your painting needs, make sure you check out the official paint and coatings company of the Broncos, rowpaint.com. Tyson Dagenhart, tomorrow night, we will have a debut. As a little bit of a relationship to Tyson Dagenhart, Brooke Thompson making her debut on the Tyson Dagenhart Show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I believe it is, to get ready for the tournament. Super excited for the Mountain West tournament. We're going to talk about that in a second. But Tyson Dagenhart Show, Idaho Central Credit Union. We're excited to announce that's back for another year. And we'll talk some softball, some basketball, all kinds of things. Maybe even a little golf. We got a Boise State golfer doing pretty well as well on the Tyson Dagenhart Show. Again, ICCU.com, all your banking needs, Idaho Central Credit Union. Make sure you check them out. Ridley's Family Markets. There's 13 locations around the state of Idaho. Make sure you find the location near you at shopridleys.com. And again, download that Skip app. You get up to 40% off at the checkout line. And of course, Matt Bauscher Real Estate, doing a great job. I'm using him we already, bought our home. We're in the process of buying it, and now we're selling our home as well. And Matt and Kelly and the team are doing a great job. We're very appreciative and helpful of how helpful they are in this process. So the number 1 ranked realtor for a reason. I'm seeing it firsthand now. Make sure you check them out. Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, Jay Tust, we wanted to bring on a special guest today. I got to make sure I can do this correctly. There we go. We'll put him in the middle there. Although you had a little, I got to see if I can figure this out. Justin Shults, you had a clever display name there. Let's see if there it is. Coach of the Wagon. We'll make sure.
Before we dive into softball, can I put my 2 cents into this?
I would love to. Yes. Yeah. As long as you agree with me. Otherwise, I'll mute you.
If we start doing the group of 5 top 25, we might as well just let them storm the court after every W.
I knew I liked having Coach Shults on.
You know what? You go out to watch the softball team, and you can just tell, like, Justin Shults is the tone setter for just nobody having any fun. I'm just kidding, Justin. How we doing today?
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
I'm great.
Would you like a group of 5 softball top 25 poll?
We tried it briefly. It was only a top 10, and it was. I do see Jay's point. It got some excitement around that being in there, but. I don't know. I think it's inevitable. I think eventually we're probably going to see some sort of split, unfortunately. But I do agree with you, BJ, in the sense that the more we promote it, the easier it will be to eventually. But I think the dollars speak for themselves. I think it's inevitable at this point. Hopefully Boise State's on the good end of that split.
Yes. That's all I worry about. I mean, that's all I really worry about as a team I cover and care about. And hopefully that is the case. You guys got a big week. coming up. You're obviously coming off with some momentum, a sweep of Colorado State. You head into the Mountain West tournament here. Just generally, how do you feel about the team? We'll get into the matchup and stuff with Fresno State, but just generally, how do you feel coming into the tournament this week?
Yeah, we're playing our best softball. I think you've seen it over the last 3 weeks now. I think we're 7-2 in the last 9 in conference. Really put ourselves in a position to win the conference, to be honest. We're really the 1 and 5 seeds are split by, I think, 2 games on paper. But if you circle back to that San Diego State 3-2 loss, if we win that game, we're the champs and we're the 1 seed going in. And that's really, it's a one-run conference right now. And that's 1 through 5. We're all split by that small of a margin. So I'm proud of the athletes. They're playing really, really well. This week's about really just trying to hype them up a little bit. But we can't change the X's and O's. We are who we are and we know what we're good at. And we just got to play good softball this week.
Justin, you go back to, well, I think it was the Fresno State series where you've won 7 of 9 since that series. And, you kind of watched your team. And I think in the past, you look at some of the players that you've had, and I mean, like Kelsey Lawler stands out to me. E-Flo, the older of the Flores sisters, stands out to me. And I mean, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. Those girls, they were kind of killers. Like they had a presence about them that you weren't going to beat them. And it almost felt like, midway through conference play, you were waiting for that to emerge. And I feel like over these last 9 games, you look at Sophia Knight, what she's doing not only at the dish, but in center field. You look at the younger of the Flores sisters, who plays with a tremendous amount of energy. It feels like these attitudes have kind of started to emerge, and I can't ignore it. You're 7-2 since then. So have you kind of noticed like their confidence and their leadership starting to rise at a very important time of the season?
Yeah, for sure. I think you look at each year, you look at your teams. In the past, we definitely had some older, more mature, maybe, you could call them killers. In the big moments, they wanted it. I think we had to learn about ourselves this year and figure out who wanted those big moments. And I think as a team, we talk about being tough 1 through 9. And any given day, it can be a different person. I mean, Charisma has a big hit on Saturday to secure the 3-2 win. Jordan Hutchins has been phenomenal. Mackenzie Hanna, Groves, Holly Farmer solidified herself in the middle of our order. We're doing great with our catchers. And so it's a little different look, but I think we're taking the pressure off of just one person this year and asking everybody to have that big moment on their given day. And so it's been cool to see. And one of the coolest things we did is we got to start 6 pitchers on that Saturday, or pitch 6 pitchers. And we did awesome. They Johnny Holstaffed it. We won 3-2, and all of them looked very, very sharp. And that was exciting because we're going to need all 6 of the pitchers that we've been utilizing to get through this tough tournament.
I asked you a similar question there on Senior Day, but I guess first, just with the close games, the 1-run games, how, I don't know if frustrating is the right word, but you, like you said, a couple of those swing the other way, and it's a much different season here. I mean, what are you seeing in the 1-run games? Is that part of what Jay's talking about? Maybe with some of the people in the big clutch moments come up with big plays that you were missing, or what has been the struggles and I guess the frustration level of how close you've seemingly been and how different the record in the season could look?
Yeah, honestly, it's frustration's a good word, but I think growing's a more important word, and we had to learn. We are fairly young and inexperienced. We lost a lot of innings last year from our team and a lot of leadership. But you look at it really, and it comes down. We talked about the 5th through the 7th inning. We were really struggling in tight ball games to continue to get better offensively for a while. Since we had that talk, if you look what we've done in the 5th through the 7th, it's been phenomenal. Every close game, Nevada, we come up big in the 5th through the 7th. Last weekend, we come up big in the 5th through the 7th and keep adding on. And I think championships are won really in the 5th through the 7th innings. And as we've matured, we've started to really dominate. Our pitching staff has done a great job in those innings, keeping us with 0s and 1s, and our offense is now starting to produce in those innings. That's what I'm expecting to see this week out of our team, is to continue to grow and really own the 5th through the 7th.
So with that said, just the fact that you've been in these close games, you're battle tested, you're ready for this, and then just the fact that it doesn't really matter. You probably weren't getting an at-large bid if you won 2 or 3 of those games anyway. I know you would have had a better spot in the conference tournament, but I guess just to know that you still have a chance here this week to do what you want to do, get to where you want to do. I guess just what's the wiping the slate clean, so to speak. What's the feeling like this week?
Yeah, it's I think renewed energy. I think we've always known we're playing for something regardless. We talk about that. Even on Saturday, the seedings were set. we wanted a sweep. We wanted to make sure that we're playing our best softball leading in, and the way we did it was really impressive. And so for us, it's you got to play your best softball right now, and we know that. And so we're trying to keep emotions out of it. I think it can get heightened with must wins on paper and people talking about that stuff, but we just got to play our best softball and just play loose softball for each other.
How much is Sophia Knight worth the price of admission? And you see, I mean, if you follow Boise State softball on Twitter, we continue to see how touted she is as a hitter, which, by the way, I believe she's only 9 hits shy of the school single season record. At 79, I believe it's the second most in a single season in program history, but she's coming up on Tara Glover's record. And she's been phenomenal in center field. How much is Sophia Knight just worth the price of admission herself here? And she's only a true freshman, Justin.
Yeah.
Well done on recruiting her.
I appreciate it. Honestly, I think everyone talks about the offense because that's what's on paper all the time, but I think it's the defense. You got to see it firsthand against New Mexico, pulling back a 3-run homer. Last weekend, the 3-2 game on Saturday, she comes up and hoses a kid at the plate on a sac fly opportunity. We win by 1 because of that throw. So I think she's just every single play, you're just waiting to see what she can do out there. And I think that's really helped our team and kind of see if someone that young can play with that much confidence. I think it has trickled into other people, and we're playing very, very good softball.
It's so much part of the discussion in today's college, world. I mean, I don't know if there is a Sophia Knight 2 jersey out there or T-shirt or anything like that, but I mean, how important is it to support players like her, in this day and age in college athletics?
Oh, it's huge, and we're talking about it. She's one of the most humble kids I've ever been around, though. I think she comes from a very good family background. She just loves the game. I don't think she gets caught up as much in that other stuff. But yeah, absolutely. If we could support her and figure out a way to get her what she's earned and deserves, I think she's an exciting player. And I think since I've been here, we're trying to grow softball in the Valley, and people like Sophia Knight do a great job of creating excitement for fans who may be just an average fan, but now they're showing up every day because who knows what she's going to do the next game.
Real quick, my favorite, I asked her, I was like, would you rather hit a home run, rob a home run, or throw somebody out? She said, throw somebody out. For me, I do feel like that was like the peak feeling, because it's like somebody challenging you. You don't get many opportunities at it, and she's really good at it. But I think throwing people out at home is like the best feeling in baseball or softball.
I would agree. Not a ton of opportunities, and she's done it 6 times, which I don't have the NCAA stats in front of me, but that's got to be up there for outfield only.
You mentioned just the veterans and the veteran presence and just trying to find some of those killers, whatever. But I mean, Taylor Caudle in the circle, having somebody like that going into this tournament, battle tested warrior, done this for you for multiple seasons. How nice is it to have someone like that there? Know you can count on this week.
Yeah, she's been even keel from day one, and she's gotten better every single year. And so we've been very, very fortunate to have her. And we had to use her a lot early on while we were still figuring out our bullpen. But I think that's going to be the X factor this weekend. Our bullpen has been so solid to help Taylor. Taylor hasn't had to go full games as often because Jenna Bloom, Abby Dow, Casey Aguinaga, BT, all of them are starting to really throw what we expected them to do. And early on, some of them had some rougher starts, but they've looked very, very sharp. And so, yes, Taylor's been a huge catalyst to keep us rolling. But I think the reason we're playing our best softball is a big part is due to our bullpen and how they've come in really nice matchups.
This, having the tournament here in Boise, and there was a big push to get the lights done and get this done. Just what does this mean for the program, for the community, for the city? We got the bracket here on the screen. We can dive into that, but just being able to host this tournament, what does this mean for the program?
It just shows the growth of softball. I think the fact that Jeremiah and his crew did such a good job getting it done so fast shows that softball matters on a national scale. And so for us to be able to host and get our fan base involved in something like this, it continues to grow the area, which makes local recruiting easier. It creates excitement around the city. And yeah, the weather's supposed to be beautiful, so I'm expecting a full house this weekend.
Justin, I'm going to go back to some of the players on your roster just to point them out. Mackenzie Hanna leads your team with 17 jacks. Sydney Groves is another young player that has multiple years of eligibility left, 16 home runs. She's been a mainstay in the middle of your order. Jordan Hutchins hitting near 340. Somebody that, and I asked you about her after the last home series, that I almost feel like gets a little overlooked at times, but man, as she grinded her way through the season, and I don't think you'd be where you are without her. About Abby Bumcrot, a month into the season, she was hitting below 100. Like that is a rough start. And anybody that has played this sport, man, that feels like a hole you can't dig out of. I mean, that takes a tremendous mindset in order to feel like you just haven't mailed in the season already. And now you look at it, as of last week, she was hitting 297. She's still hitting upwards of 280 overall. I mean, in order to do that, she's probably hitting 400 since that first month of the season closed out. She's phenomenal on defense, great attitude. Over these last 4 years, what has Abby Bumcrot meant to your program?
Yeah, I think what she went through, all the early season failure on the offensive side, because she's been a catalyst defensively for us, and the reason she never left the lineup is because of what she does defensively. She's our quarterback out there, constantly talking to people. But the resiliency of her to find a way to grind it out, get back to who she is, a lot of bunt for hits, a lot of singles. Yeah, we talk about Sydney Groves and Mackenzie Hanna because they've got all the jacks, which is fun, and I love those things too. But our offense isn't turning over without the 400. And you're right, she is hitting 400 over the last, I think, 26 games. And so it's her role in the lineup over for people like Sophia Knight, Jordan Hutchins. She's done a phenomenal job. Ashlyn Whalen and Charisma Bergeson have been kind of platooning first base in an unorthodox way. But I think the personalities of them and accepting their roles of who they are and fighting for each other and not taking it personal, I think is why we're playing so well down the stretch, is they've all embraced their roles. And Abby Bumcrot's going to be missed. I think a lot of the seniors are going to be missed, but she's a special kid. She's funny. She keeps it loose. And so I'm excited to see her go out the way she wants to.
Just kind of looking at this from a broader perspective really quick, because, BJ was kind of touching on the program aspect of all this, right? So you kind of sit back and you look around at the softball field, right? And you look up and you see the massive scoreboard, and you look up and you see the lights. And I mean, in all honesty, you had to replace a lot this season, and you were young, and you survived the season with a pretty darn good team, right? When you just kind of look back and you look at where you got this program and where you're at right now, I mean, I know it's hard to be satisfied probably because you got a big weekend coming up, but just how encouraged are you by where you're at right now, how far you've come, and if you stay on this pace, what it could mean for Boise State softball in 2, 3, 4 years down the road?
Yeah, I'll start with just saying I'm so proud of the character of our student athletes. I think you start to see the really rough start that we had in conference. People might say, well, you're trying to repeat a conference championship. We knew we were young, and some teams may have allowed that to affect the rest of their season. And I think the maturity of our team, the character of our team to fight through and really play our best softball late when people could have counted us out, I think shows more about what the program exemplifies. And that's what I'm most proud of, is just the character on this team and the fight that we have regardless of winning the regular season. The regular season didn't get us much last year. We saw that. It really is this weekend, and we talked about getting into the tournament and playing our best ball, and I think we are.
I guess final thing for me, Justin, I'll put the bracket back up here. Fresno State, you mentioned them. Maybe you can touch on also just the format here, the first game being single elimination, and just give a primer of this tournament here. I know you said just get in, and you guys feel like you can beat anybody in this tournament. Just for fans, curious about this and wanting to come out this weekend, maybe just give us a primer for the tournament here.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very high-level softball. I honestly look at the field, and I think any one of the 6 teams could win it. I think that's how close the competition is this year. Couldn't say that probably in the past few years if you look at some teams, but right now, like top to bottom, this conference was very, very talented. And so I think you're going to see high-level softball regardless. Fresno State's got 2 very, very good pitchers, and so we've got our work cut out for us in that play-in game, but our goal is to get to the next one. So you do have a little bit of life with that double elimination portion of it. But you get 4 games day 1, 3 games day 2, and then possibly 2 games on Saturday with great weather. So like I said, I'm excited to see Bronco Nation show up and support all the teams. They're not just our team, but come watch really good softball and see what it's all about.
Yeah, the worst weather day is 72 and sunny on Thursday, and then you got 78 on Friday, 80 on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting out there. I know Jay's going to be out there, and 12:30 on Thursday against Fresno State, and then like you said, if you win that, you move into the double elimination part. So, Justin, really appreciate your time as always. Best of luck this week, and we'll be able to be seeing you at the park.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Go Broncos.
There he is, Justin Shults. Appreciate him for joining us here on Bronco Nation News. Jay, I had one more thing to finish up with for our last couple of minutes, but I do have a couple more quick sponsors I need to thank here to make sure we can get that done. Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. They got NIL deals with 6 athletes at Boise State, 4 football players, and I know Jonah Dalmas and company are going to be out at the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament. Jonah Dalmas, actually, and Ahmed Hassani and these guys, we're working on, Jay, to have them at the pre-party event on Thursday night, the night before the golf tournament as well. So going to have a lot of fun, and we appreciate our friends at Lithia Ford Boise. And again, they're a big supporter of the Broncos, and they're a big supporter of Bronco Nation News. So check them out. We appreciate them. LithiaFordBoise.com. TacoBellWorks.com. It's a Taco Bell Tuesday. You looking for a job? Well, you don't have to wait 3 weeks for that first paycheck. They'll give you half your wages the very next day after your shift, and you get free food while you work. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. And again, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, they are supporting Boise State men's and women's basketball with the endowed scholarships. They've committed hundreds of thousands of dollars to those student scholarships. So make sure you return the favor. Go get some Taco Bell and check them out at TacoBellWorks.com. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Travis Hawks and company, whether it's shirts, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, you name it, they've got it all. They got the Ashton Genty Heisman shirts. They got it all at theblueandorangestore.com. Again, the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40, or you get the great deals there in the store at the Boise Town Square Mall on the second floor next to Pro Image. And I mentioned a job. Well, the trucking industry is booming right now as well. Transportation Compliance Service can help you out. DOT, overweight permits, you name it, they can do it for you, get you out there towing that first load in no time. Maybe you didn't think about the trucking industry as kind of a career choice, but it's a great one, and they can help you out at transcompservice.com. All right, Jay, by the way, I wanted to have more time on this. We'll save it till Friday maybe, because on Thursday, we're going to have our second unveiling of the second entry in the TBT tournament. I know you're all over this as well, but we have partnered at BNN with the TBT team and now we're going to be giving them some love with some interviews and things and announcing the team. But quickly, I guess, just your general big picture take on the team being back and James Reed running this. And it seems like, again, no disrespect to the team 2 years ago, but, talking to James, as I know you have, there's a really nice plan in place for this, and I think they have a much better chance to succeed. But I know the exciting part also is the game and the event that's coming to Boise as well.
Yeah, I think that obviously there's an effort to build excitement towards this thing, right? So the roster will be revealed slowly, but I do.
And I'm sorry, but that was kind of my idea, and he liked it, so I apologize if you or others don't like that part.
Oh, I think it's just worth noting that I think that fans will be excited about the roster, though, and this is as you were just kind of alluding to a moment ago, BJ. The first go around was awesome when they tried it a couple of years ago. But, Thomas Broplay was really, the guy that was trying to get that together while playing professionally, while overseas. And I don't want to call it last minute or anything, but dude had a lot on his plate to bring this together. And now James Reed is in charge of it. And, he's kind of stepping into more of the business world with, a quote unquote normal job these days. And he is doing a fantastic job of organizing this thing. And so I feel that, the roster that they're putting together, and I'm pretty sure you'd agree with me here, BJ. I think it gives them a great chance to be successful and go win a game or two or more, whatever, at the actual tournament as they all try to compete for $1 million. My only take on this, BJ, why is it still only $1 million? Man, it was $1 million when this tournament started. The value of that has changed quite a bit. I feel like they need to up the ante a little bit.
And when you think about it, you're at 10 players and you got a coach, like you're really talking like 70,000-80,000 per player here, which some of these guys playing overseas. I mean, that is big money.
But whatever it is, but it feels like there should be a little more of a
something. Yeah.
I don't know how it's not easily that right now. And at the very least, even if it doesn't all go to the winner, maybe you try to distribute it to really help these guys cover some of the travel costs and things like that. Because another thing that's worth noting for Bronco Nation, a lot of these guys are really coming back and playing for the love of the game. I mean, I know I said $1 million is on the line, but that's for the winner. Like if you don't win, especially if you're one and done or something like that, it's a lot of effort for not a lot of for basically no payoff. So I know James and you guys are trying to do some stuff to bring it to the public's attention to raise some funds and things like that. But these guys, I really do mean it. Like they're largely coming back just to play for the love of the game and represent. I would say put Boise State on the front of their jerseys, but they can't do that. So represent Bronco Nation and their university that they once played for to the best of their abilities. It's a pretty cool ordeal, and I really do think people are going to be excited about who they see on. Was it July 17th, BJ?
Yeah, July 17th is the big game, and the one that's cool about that is it's going to incorporate the current team for the 3-point and the slam dunk contest, as well as the TBT team, as well as another idea that I had that I'm going to take credit for, and he liked, is a Legends bracket with a Matt Boucher, an Abe Jackson, Nick Duncan, some other former players, local legends out here. They're going to get out there in the 3-point contest. Not sure any of them can dunk still, but they'll get out there in the 3-point contest. And if you're a fan of Boise State basketball in the last 20 or 30 years, it's really going to be a display of Boise State basketball history at Bora High School, and I think it's going to be really cool.
And that's, what I feel like is significant about this. And some of the talks that I, complimenting James, this is long overdue for Boise State basketball. I mean, a TBT tournament or not, just the fact that to recognize what they have done over these last 10, 15 years is significant. There is a little bit of a legacy, if you will, to this program because of the success that they've had. Traditionally, I know you want to see guys in the NBA, and I get that, but this will also shine some light on the fact that there's a lot of Boise State men's basketball players that are, playing overseas for what is definitely enough money to support their living, their livelihood, all those types of things. And so that's all pretty cool. I don't know if they'll hit, they'll bat 1,000, if you will, BJ, on the roster that they want to eventually concoct for this thing. But I think this is going to be really darn close to, the best potential roster they can get to. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, it's close. They're there's a certain position when it comes out where they struggled a little, I mean, the interior, there's not as many star players in the interior playing around the world or right now, in terms of the post players. They certainly, if you look at the last several years of Boise State basketball, I think you'll notice when the roster comes out that's a little guard heavy. But it's
like it's longer, like more. I mean, we're not talking about a lineup where they're going to run 5, 6, 4 dudes out there. I mean, they're going to have some fun with this thing. So
why is Johnny trolling? Go ahead.
James also believes he's got a nice little game plan to take advantage of in terms of the talent that he has and the quick turnarounds and things like that. And if you know James Reed, I believe him.
We just need to get him out there for the 3-point contest.
That's what I told him, and he said he's like, nah, man, I don't want to, or what. I was like, he said something about running up and down the court, and I'm like, you don't have to do that anymore.
Justinian Jessup called him out on the announcement and said he needs him out there for it. So we'll see. There is a movement in the works for that.
Was that the most aggressive thing Justinian Jessup's ever said?
Might have been. Well, he was in Germany when he joined us live, and our next guest on Thursday is going to join us from even further away. So that'll be Thursday at 9 a.m. to announce the second player. By the way, why is Johnny trolling here? Why are you going to let him do this to you? Who was drafted higher, Tust or Shults? Honest question. The answer is you, though, correct?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Come on. Every single time we talk to Shults, you were drafted way higher, I believe. Wasn't Shults like 40th round or something?
Yeah, but Shults went pro and got some ABs. So I never really like to give.
I'm pretty sure you were. I don't know why. I think you were you have to way higher. You were 24th round, right?
28th.
I think he was back when they had way more rounds of the draft. What was Shults?
I'm looking. Wait for it.
By the way, Brent does say Jay is 1,000% right. So our last comment will be someone agreeing with the only person agreeing with you on this group of 5 thing here.
I get it from both sides on that, but I just think at the end of the day, I don't know if it matters a ton. Shults was drafted in the 48th round of the 2011 MLB draft. Out
20 rounds higher. So 20 times what, 30? We're talking what? I'm bad at math here.
Yeah, but Shults has 9 more minor league home runs than I ever hit. So
600 players.
9 bombs.
The Cincinnati Reds took Jay Tust, and then 600 picks were made before somebody was smart, decided, all right, let's just take this guy, Justin Shults, in the 48th round.
It was a different year of the draft, too. We won't go into that. But I'm actually surprised, man. Shults hit 260 with 9 bombs in 103 minor league games. And for some reason, I guess that actually includes his NCAA career. So 5 bombs in 51 minor league games with the Stros rookie league team. What happened there, man?
That projects over 162 game schedule. Come on.
Man, he hit cleanup for the Mariners.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate Justin coming on. It's going to be fun. I mean, I hadn't looked that closely at the weather yet. We actually got the tournament week this week for the Meridian Broncos here. We're playing tomorrow night in the single elimination tournament. So a lot of tournament action going on around town this week. But I'm definitely going to probably try to make it out there Thursday, 12:30. It's going to be exciting and great weather and should be fun. Hopefully folks will be out there as well. I think they sold out the reserved all session seats, but they have some single session seats left. And then obviously the berm out there in the outfield, general admission. So appreciate everybody. What's that?
Can I add one more thing? Just to shout out softball in our community, because not only is Boise State hosting the Mountain West Conference Championships this week, the NNU softball team is hosting the NCAA D2 West Regional. So there's some pretty good softball in the state of Idaho going on right now, and I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And should be cool to have 6 teams from the Mountain West in town this weekend and everything else that's going on with softball. So appreciate Justin for coming on and our friend Craig Lawson for helping set that up. Thank you to Jay Tust for his appearance, and thank you to all the comments. Thank you to all the subscribers. Go support the sponsors if you can. Sign up for the golf tournament. Again, we're wanting to sell out. And Leon Rice is checking his schedule to confirm, Jay. But I mean, literally the night before the tournament at this event that we're doing, and maybe I haven't told Jay Tust this, but maybe he's going to be emceeing this if we can pay him enough. But long story short, Jay, we're going to have a Q&A on the stage with Spencer Danielson and Leon Rice, and that's pretty darn cool if we can pull this off. And it's only limited to like 125 people because of the room size. So if you want access to this event, you got to come to the golf tournament and sign up now. But you're literally going to get to mingle and hang out with Spencer Danielson. I mentioned some players on both the basketball and football teams will be there hanging out, chatting, signing autographs, whatever. And then kind of an intimate Q&A where, like I said, there's only going to be 125 people. So you got a chance to ask a question to either Spencer or Leon or even Jay if you'd prefer. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I know Prater and Johnny will be there, so maybe we'll all kind of take turns. I don't know, but it should be fun. And again, it's an exclusive event for folks that are in the tournament, and then those guys will be out there the next day as well at the tournament. So sign up now before it sells out. We have one whole sponsorship left. If you want the last whole sponsorship, reach out to me and we'll hook you up, and that guarantees you a foursome as well. So appreciate everybody. Sign up for the golf tournament. Appreciate you, Jay. And we will talk to you with John Mallory, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now I'm getting the low battery thing on my laptop, so that means it's time to end this. Appreciate it, Jay. We'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.